For years now, we've been talking to our AI. You ask it a question, it gives you an answer. Simple. But what happens when it stops just talking and starts acting all on its own? Well, that new generation of autonomous AI is already here, and with it comes a completely new kind of threat that we are just beginning to understand. Today, we're diving deep into the Agentic attack surface, basically the hidden vulnerabilities of an AI that can think and act for itself.
I mean, really think about that for a second. This is the one question that changes absolutely everything. We are right in the middle of this massive shift from AI being a passive tool like a calculator to being an active participant in our digital lives. And understanding this leap from just giving advice to actually taking action is the key to getting a handle on this brand new security landscape.
So what's the real difference here? Well, on the left, you've got your traditional AI. It's a really smart advisor, right? You ask, it answers, and then you decide what to do next. But on the right, you have Agentic AI. This thing is an autonomous actor. It doesn't just give you an answer. It takes that answer and goes off and executes a whole series of actions all by itself.
And this cartoon just illustrates the point perfectly. Look, the traditional AI is kind of like a super helpful librarian. You know, it finds information for you. But the Agentic AI, it's a total powerhouse, booking your flights, managing your calendar, talking to a dozen different systems, all without you lifting a finger. It's a wild leap in capability.
Now, this massive shift creates a completely different risk profile, as this table breaks down so well. The role literally changes from a stateless advisor to an autonomous actor. The security scope just explodes from just protecting a model to protecting the entire agent and all the tools it can use. And maybe most critical of all, the execution speed jumps from human in the loop, our speed, to pure machine speed. The bottom line, our old security models were just not built for this new reality, not even close. So this new architecture creates a whole new kind of adversary. When one of these agentic systems gets compromised, it's not just a simple data breach. No, you're facing something else entirely.
And what's so fascinating here is how it completely redefines the battlefield. The old model was about the perimeter, right? Building a wall to keep the attackers out. But a compromised agent isn't outside trying to get in. It's an autonomous adversary that's already inside your perimeter, operating with your credentials and trusted by all of your systems. The threat isn't at the gates, it's already in the house.
And this isn't just some theoretical problem. Check out this quote from a Microsoft team member. It just perfectly captures that oh moment, The moment a team realizes their powerful new agent has all these security implications they hadn't even considered. It really highlights the dangerous gap between what these agents can do and what we're prepared to secure. Okay. So if we're going to defend against this new threat, we first need a map of its weaknesses. We need to understand the blueprint of the agentic attack surface itself. And here it is. This is the 6-layer agentic defense blueprint. And it shows that securing these systems isn't about plugging one single hole. It's a multi-layered challenge, starting from the foundational LLM core at the very bottom, all the way up to the output layer, which is where the agent actually takes action in the world.
Let's zoom in on a couple of these layers. Layer 2, the system prompt. This is basically the AI's constitution. It's a set of core rules and its identity. Now, an attacker who can inject new instructions here can completely hijack its behavior. If they can change that prompt, they own the agent. It's that simple.
Now, layer 4, this is where things get really, really insidious. An attacker can poison the agent's memory just by planting a malicious document in its knowledge base. This attack is like a delayed fuse explosive. It can just sit there dormant for weeks or months until the agent happens to retrieve that one poison piece of information, and boom, you get an explosive and permanent shift in its behavior.
And then you've got layer 5, where you have multiple agents all working together as a team. The problem? Well, most of these systems are built on implicit trust. So if an attacker compromises just one little sub-agent, they can use that trust to send malicious commands to the rest of the team, causing the entire system to just collapse like dominoes.
So, we've seen the vulnerable layers by themselves, but the real danger, the really scary part, is how an attacker can chain them all together, creating a massive blast radius.
Okay, so follow along with me on this diagram. It shows a full attack chain in 4 steps. Step 1, an attacker uploads a poisoned document. They're attacking layer 4, the memory. Step 2, months go by. The AI retrieves that document, and the malicious instructions override its system prompt, hitting layers 1 and 2. Step 3, The now compromised agent abuses its implicit trust to hijack a downstream subagent exploiting layer 5. And finally, step 4. That subagent is used to generate and execute malicious code, attacking layers 3 and 6. It's a full system compromise.
This threat matrix is the perfect cheat sheet for all of this. It really summarizes the whole problem. For each of those 6 layers, it shows you exactly what asset we need to protect, who the most likely attacker is, and the single highest impact way they're going to come after it. It's a super concise guide to this whole new threat landscape.
So here's the crucial point. The old way of doing things, just securing the model itself or trying to filter user input, it's just not enough. It's insufficient. The real vulnerabilities, and therefore the only real defenses, exist at the structural intersections between these layers.
Which of course brings us from the problem to the solution. If the threat has evolved this much, well, our defenses have to evolve too. We need a new mandate, and we need a new universal architecture for security.
And this is what it looks like. This universal security architecture isn't a single product you can buy. It's a whole new philosophy. Think of it like a multifaceted shield built on one core principle: zero trust. It uses security controls that the AI itself can't bypass, no matter what instructions an attacker tries to give it.
This entire architecture is built on 4 main pillars. Number 1, context isolation, to keep instructions separate from data. 2, tool sandboxing, which basically limits what any one agent is allowed to do. 3, memory integrity, to prevent that dormant poisoning attack we talked about. And 4, inter-agent trust, which uses unforgeable tokens, so agents can't just impersonate each other.
And finally, making this happen requires a whole new mandate across the entire organization. This is not just one person's job. CISOs need to start demanding 6-layer attack surface maps. Engineering managers have to treat agent accounts like the highest privileged identities they are. Red teams need to focus on prompt extraction and memory injection, and blue teams have got to start monitoring the traffic between agents because those are the brand new blind spots.
And all of this leaves us with the final, and really the most critical question. We are rapidly building and deploying AI that can act autonomously in our world, with access to our most critical systems. But are our security architectures, our teams, and frankly, our mindsets, are we evolving fast enough to keep up with the incredible power we're unleashing? That's the challenge we all have to face, and we have to face it now.